Hello, kia ora, g'day, I'm Philip Duncan from Weather Watch TV on YouTube with your 7-day Australia-only forecast, and it's for the first week of August. Let's have a look and see what is going on with the temperature and wind map. Now there's a fair bit of high pressure in this southeastern corner, and it's dredging up from off the screen this cold south to southeasterly, sub-Antarctic in some areas, airflow, and that is the reason why temperatures are down in northern eastern parts, coastal parts of Queensland, and really along the eastern coastline, temperatures are down as a result of that southerly coming from south of New Zealand. On the other side, the northerlies are coming down, but that's ahead of the next cold front, which is coming into Western Australia, the southern half of Western Australia. If you're north of about Port Hedland, you won't be seeing much in the way of rain. So let's have a look at Friday's setup. Talking about Port Hedland, 26 degrees for you on Friday with a low of 18, and you do have a few showers. This area here inland is something we're going to be tracking in this video because this blob of showers, and blob kind of describes it well, will be moving along all the way to the eastern side over the next week. But it's detached from this cold front. The cold front that's racing along the southern coastline, windy nor'westers ahead of it, a few showers in the northern half of Tasmania. Just to note, if you live in Hobart, pretty dry for the next 7 to 10 days coming through for you. But as this cold front moves along, this little area of rain and showers will intensify a wee bit because it's going to try and form into a low pressure zone, but it won't quite get there. That's what they call a trough. It's kind of like a pothole in the sky because it fills up with a bit of water, but other than that, it's not doing much else. Now on Friday, another place to keep an eye on, Mount Barker, just near Adelaide, 16 degrees, and a low of 4. So cloudy, but mostly dry weather coming in for you. And the reason why that's sort of interesting is Adelaide has basically got 7 to 10 dry days on the way. You might get brushed by this front, but the front's kind of going sideways down the coastline and it may not really go very far inland. On Saturday, still got a few of those showers hanging around. Most of it is around Tasmania, and like I say, Hobart's missing out. You're in that rain shadow on that southeastern side. Plenty of windy westerlies blowing through, and they'll be quite cold as well. Colder weather just brushing the coastlines here. Melbourne will get caught up into that colder but drier airflow. Katoomba in the Blue Mountains just near Sydney, 13 is your high on Saturday with a low of -3 at the top there of the Blue Mountains. It'll be a mix of sun and cloud for you. And further to the north in Queensland, Mount Morgan, sunny and a high of 23 and a low of 8. Let's go on to Sunday. So the blob of rain, it is moving along. It's not just rain, it's showers as well. The difference is a shower bubbles up, it's sort of an individual cloud. Rain can hang around for longer than 30 minutes. And so we're seeing rain and showers mixed up in this as it moves out of Western Australia and now goes into South Australia, even a little bit into the Northern Territory, getting that as well. Further to the south, colder with those windy westerlies carrying on around, or windy-ish I should say, probably windier in the very southern, more isolated parts, but that westerly flow carries on across Tasmania, bringing in some showers to the western side. A few places to talk about. Burnie in Tasmania, 13 degrees is your high, 7 is the low, and you've got a few showers on the way. And Palmerston City, way up here, right next to Darwin, got to get some warm places in there. 33 degrees for you as your maximum, 21 degrees your overnight low, and worth noting that you'll be up to about 36 degrees as we get into next week. Okay, on into Monday now. So South Australia, you've got the blob of rain moving through, the blob of rain and showers, and it's hit and miss. This is not a big area of low pressure because, as you can see, there isn't really a low there. It is trying to form, but it doesn't have the right conditions for it. So it's sort of just a little bit of that wet weather tracking along. Dry elsewhere as the high moves out to the east. A warmer airflow now starting to come back into New South Wales. Plenty of those coastal showers coming in around Queensland. That doesn't really change. It's still mostly dry though. There's not very much in those showers for most of you. And the western side of Tasmania, still a bit windy with those showery westerlies carrying on for you. Bridgewater, 12 is your maximum. Your overnight low is 6. Partly cloudy weather for you and dry weather on the way for the next 7 days. And Hawker in South Australia, 14 degrees is your maximum for Monday and 6 degrees your overnight low. You've got a few showers coming in there. You can just see a few of them popping up. So let's go into Tuesday and see what is happening. So the blob of rain, it is moving along and now getting a bit better organized as it gets this more coastal feed coming into it, not as dry. So a bit more moisture helps to kind of trigger this into a bigger downpour, maybe a few thunderstorms in there as that line of heavy rain moves along, 30, 40 millimeters coming through in 24 hours, but it dries out for pretty much everyone else. A few showers here in the very southwestern corner. Penrith, 17 degrees is your maximum on the eastern side, dropping down to 8 degrees with a few showers. And Wynnum, part of Brisbane, you're going to be 21 degrees, your maximum, and 13 degrees your low. You've also got a few showers coming in there straight off the sea. All right, let's move through into Wednesday now, and now it's Queensland's turn to get the blob of rain as it moves further into the north there. It's very messy and broken up, so this is going to change a wee bit as it moves on through, but you've got kind of wet weather on both sides now, coming in coastally with the east to northeasterly, and then inland, those other downpours stretching right through into some parts of Northern Territory, although it's not very much at all. And yes, the westerlies carry on for Tasmania, more wet weather coming in for you. Margaret River, way over here in the southwestern corner, you've got rain turning to showers. 17 is your maximum, 12 is your low. And Gregory, that's the other spot we want to talk about today, 21 degrees, and you're dropping down to 14 with a few showers. Let's go right through till Thursday, 1 week from today. Wet weather looks to be lining up here. As that trough finally moves out to sea, now it might actually turn into a low pressure zone. Better conditions for it to do that. So this isn't locked in this far out, but there is a chance of some heavier rain around that border between New South Wales and Queensland, but it doesn't at this stage look to be anything too major. And windier, drier nor'west is coming in for parts of Tasmania, while the showers stay mostly in this bottom southwestern corner of Western Australia. As I say, not much to talk about in the northwest or through these central areas once those showers move away. So let's make sense of the rain. This is the next 7 days, departure from normal. Where you see the blue, that's the percentage of how much wetter than usual it is compared to what is historically recorded at this time of the year. So you can certainly see the blob moves along and across Australia, bringing some parts, some relief to some areas, but still very dry. I know that there are still a number of farmers that are very worried about how dry conditions are around Victoria and some parts of New South Wales and even going into Tasmania. So you can certainly see drier than usual there. Still drier than usual in the southwest too, despite that wet weather that's coming through for you. So rainfall wise, let's have a look and see what is on the way. This is the next 7 days animation. You can see the blob tracking across here, and it is blobby by the looks of it. So those areas in yellow and gold, you're talking around about 20 to 45 millimeters coming through for you, which is what you see in the southwestern corner of Western Australia. Not so much up here, most of that's offshore or well inland. And then again, that heavier rain might form next week around the border of Queensland and New South Wales. Most of it is offshore. But basically that is it for the next 7 days. Let's have a look at the place of the day this time around. We're going to Norfolk Island. What a cool spot. Just north of New Zealand. Hello to our viewers there. There's around about 2,200 of you living on this on the island. Your annual rainfall, 1,300 millimeters, which is quite a bit. Burnt Pine, the largest town that's in the middle here. Kingston, the capital, which is the second oldest settlement in Australia, 1 month after Sydney. So there you go, the fun fact of the day. Look at the temperatures though, barely moving. Hovering around 17 or 18 degrees, those overnight lows around 14 or 15 degrees, and the weather you see right here is basically the weather you've got for the next week. It is dry or mainly dry. You might just get a couple of showers. And no, that plane is not landing there. It's a little bit too high up. Cool spot, like to go there one day. That is all from me. Have yourselves a great weekend. I'll see you again on Monday.